Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the 5th episode of the Santa Clauses, which is called Across the Yule-Verse. And so this episode literally picks up the second to last episode left off, where time frozen, Scott is in awe, the time frozen, he's wondering what the hell's going on. He gets a tap on the shoulder, right? And it's an elf that we've seen before, but older. And that elf is Bernard. Yes, Bernard has come back into the series. And, so, Bernard comes to tell Scott, yeah, Christmas is fucked with your replacement. And Scott says, I know. And Bernard says, if you knew this, then why are you not coming back to save Christmas? What the frick, dude? And so Bernard takes Scott to meet some of the Santa Clauses from the past. And initially makes, Scott realize that his family is the first humans to live on in the North Pole. That they the Santa that came before him fell from the roof in the first movie. Didn't get startled. He chose Scott to be his successor, so Scott could take on the mantle and pretty much keep the Santa Claus going, but through his bloodline. And this whole speech that Bernard gives, this whole speech that Bernard and some of the past Santas, they inspire Scott to go back to the North Pole, especially once he heard about the elves disappearing. So Scott goes back to his family, tells them the situation, and they all are in an agreement they have to go back to the North Pole. But Scott wants to do things solo, so when Noel gets back, I'm getting ice cream, which by the time Scott's wife and kids are upstairs packing. Scott tells Noel, yeah, let's get back to the North Pole, okay? And we do. And essentially while this was going on, Betty, she's beginning to lose hope, because Simon is really screwing up Christmas. And all the elves have been disappearing because they are losing faith. They're losing hope in Christmas. So they disappeared because they lost hope. And Simon's daughter, being Grace, she asks Betty, why is everybody disappearing? And Betty just says, if you believe in Christmas, what it means, the spirit of Christmas will survive. It's essentially double way of saying that, yeah, your father's screwing up Christmas. And we get why Simon is trying to do Christmas 24/7. For the whole full 365 days route. And that's because his wife, who I'm guessing isn't around, she either left them or she somehow died. I wasn't too sure if she was still living or not. But essentially she's not around due to whatever reason. And she says that I think she's sadly passed away. Her character, not the actor. And now that I'm playing the episode back, because Grace does tell Simon that mom is watching. So yeah, she is dead, unfortunately. And so Cal is trying. No, no, Cal. Cal's the actor. Simon is trying to honor the memory of his wife by having Christmas every day, so nobody will feel sad or depressed. And that's where he's coming from. And he's allowing that to cause him to be blind to the fact that, yeah, you're fucking up Christmas, man. You're fucking up Christmas, my friend. And so essentially, um, Scott gets locked behind bars with this elf that is the security dude who talks like this. Like if he was a Batman, was Gary, I think his name was. I props to the guy who plays him, which is Liam Kim. I'm looking at the IMDb, so I can't remember the characters' names. But props to Liam Kyle for playing Gary, because I would not be able to do this a lot. So maybe it's an age thing. Maybe like around like his age group, because I guess I think he's a kid. I refuse to look up any more than the Santa Claus's TV cast. Tell me remember these guys' names, but he I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't know if he it's like if he went through puberty yet, because me just doing this voice constantly. Or me doing this, my Batman voice. I would not be able to do this for more than 30 seconds at most. Yeah, again, Christian Bale did that voice for a while throughout 3 movies, which I wonder how many takes they had to get Christian Bale to use this voice. So I don't know. I guess the age thing is out of the question. But yeah, still props to Liam Kyle who did Gary, because I personally wouldn't be able to do that scruffy sounding voice for that long. Yeah, he gets thrown in behind bars, and so Scott's son, Cal, he helps his mother and sister get back to the North Pole, because Cal inherited Scott's gift for essentially magic, being Santa Claus. So it's clear that this is going to be passing the torch from Scott Calvin to Cal Calvin, or Cal Claus. And I'm guessing this because there's this girl that Cal has met at school. I'm guessing because episode 6, I'm guessing is the last episode for the season or for the show. I'm guessing in episode 6 how it essentially ends. Well, we'll play it out. Because Cal says to the girl, look by the fireplace on Christmas Eve. If we survive this, you will see my father. And I feel like that girl that Cal is really into, they're going to set them up to be the future Mr. and Mrs. Claus. That's my theory. And maybe do a whole 10, oh not 10, 20 years later, 20, 30 years later, and we see Cal finally becoming Santa Claus. Well, the girl that he's being crushing over, the part of this episode and the last episode, is Mrs. Claus, and maybe they have a kid of their own. And Scott's other son that we've seen in the movies, which I'm looking at the IMDb for this, for the cast. Charlie may be visiting. Maybe Charlie will have more gray hairs. I would like to see Charlie again in this show, because just to see how he feels about his brother, his younger brother, being the new Santa Claus. I don't know. Maybe at that point, Scott has officially retired as Santa Claus, so he's able to like spend time with Charlie and the grandkids and stuff like that. Who knows? But yeah, I believe that episode 6, the show is going with the standard Disney Plus 6-8 episode route. So I'm guessing like the next episode, based on what this episode ended, because Cal was successful in navigating his sister, who was writing this like who was pulling her off, pretty much her father, into the sleigh, which his Scott's daughter also inherited some of the magic, but not in the same way as Cal did. So like, I'm guessing, like I said, with how everything happened in this episode, which is called Cross the Yule-Verse, that we will get that next episode will be the series finale, essentially. Unless Disney wants to make Bank and go for season 2, which I wouldn't be surprised. But that's just me. I do think, like, if you guys enjoyed the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen, that you guys will appreciate this, because this movie it's really good, and in my opinion, it's good. Like, of course, it's not one of the best things I've seen per se, but it's like one of the better things I've seen of 2022. And I feel like they are continuing the Santa Claus legacy. Besides, like, taking a mild crap on it. And I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it. So, with that said, what do you guys think of Chapter 5 Across the Yule-Verse? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to stop talking. So, love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And we'll talk to you fellow musicians later. Later, taters.